Welcome to SomewhatNerdy Radio. We are your host. I am Snarf Chris.
I'm Critter.
Welcome to the show. 17th issue. We made it. I don't. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social medias. Go leave us a review on all your podcast apps. We're on Amazon Music now. I think I said that last episode. So if you use Amazon for podcasts, like a strange person, go ahead.
I've never heard that.
What's new? Yeah, it's brand new.
I want to touch base about something you just said. You're like, oh, we made it. I mean, you made it seem like we've only done 17 episodes. This is volume 2. So you need to go back to the compendium of volume 1.
How many episodes did we do on last season?
The last volume? 60 something?
Yeah.
67, 69? Nice.
Nice.
Something like that.
All right, so we've been doing it in a while. All right, yeah, you're right. But we made it to 17 this time.
Yeah, I mean...
It's only taken us...
We're close to 100.
Yeah.
We'll catch up to Billiam someday. We won't.
We won't.
We won't. We'll die. Billiam would have to give us 30 episodes, and call him Somewhat Nerdy for us to even come close to catching up.
We love you, Billiam.
Thank you, Billiam, for keeping everything alive
keeping
for us.
a dream alive.
He really has, man. Talking about movies and everything. I mean, and then he has his book stuff. Fucking great.
Yeah, if you don't listen to Billiam's podcast, you should. Link in the show description, please. On this episode, we are going to be doing one of my favorite podcasts that we do, Double Feature. Mostly because I get to torture Critter with bad movies.
You act like I don't give you bad movies, too. Let's not forget, I'm the one that did Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, this is true.
I started all of it.
This is true.
I started the hell it is the movie challenge.
I feel like I normally watch a lot of bad movies. Like that's kind of my thing. I love bad movies, so
I agree. I think collectively you like worse movies than me.
Yeah, and those are objectively bad movies, I would say. What I gave you this week was not objectively a bad movie. It was just a bad movie. So we're just going to go ahead and start off with my movie, Dungeonmaster, which came out in 1984, a year after I was born.
He is a warrior in a wasteland without mercy.
It's the little guy.
He has survived where countless others have died.
Good shot, huh?
He has destroyed all that would kill him.
Out of control.
He is the only one who can face the challenges of the Dungeon Master.
You are a worthy opponent.
I don't believe this.
By the power of the Prince of Darkness! I dub thee Excalibrates.
Discover the secret of the Statue of Stone. The ungodly demons of the dead. The trap of rat spit, the slime ball.
I am Rat Spit, caretaker of the dead.
The ordeal of the ice monsters of doom.
My legs are frozen. I can't move my feet.
The attack of the samurai sentinel. The treachery of the monster of good and evil. A warrior trapped in a timeless void, locked in mortal combat against the overlord to the agonies of strange beasts and lost souls.
Prepare for the end.
The Dungeon Master. Rated PG-13.
Well, I was born in 1984.
Yeah.
So you always say you youngins, you idiot. You do it all the time. I know. You know that. You're like, well, you'll know when you're older. I'm like, fuck you. We're the same age.
I'm 40 this year.
I'm 39 this year.
Ew. I'm already 39.
Yeah, see, you're doing it again. Stop it. We're the same goddamn age.
You'll understand when you're 40.
Yeah.
So this is a 1984 sci-fi science fiction anthology movie, kind of. It bills itself as an anthology. This is the brainchild of somebody that watched Tron, but also played a shit ton of Dungeons and Dragons, and were like, how do I combine those two things and then do it badly? Then you get Dungeonmaster.
I will say this, going into the movie, like, when you first started up, you're like, what's happening? So I watched this on Tubi.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I pulled up Dungeonmaster. I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this. Turn it on, and it just starts.
Yeah.
They show the MGM logo, and then boom, you're doing something. And then boom, within the first 3 minutes, full frontal goddamn nudity. It's a PG-13 movie. PG-13 in the 80s was wild as shit because you could do anything as long as there wasn't drugs.
And the version we did watch of this movie was the UK cut of it.
I was confused because they showed a different title, and I remember going, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So overseas, this movie was called Rage War, The Challenges of Excalibrate, or Digital Knights. Those are all the... And in Dungeon Master here. So
when it started showing everything, like, I was like, that's not the title. And I started seeing people, so I started looking it up online again. I'm like, oh, okay. It's at least the same people. It must go by a different title. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Started watching it. Well, Snarf Chris, why don't you tell us what this movie's about?
So this is about
besides the full frontal nudity in the first 3 minutes.
Okay. Paul is a computer programmer, AI programmer. He was ahead of his time. He had Google goggles way before Google was.
He's ahead of his time now.
Yeah, he really is. He has an AI that basically...
He has Alexa that actually talks. He has Jarvis.
Yes. And it
speaks like a speak and spell.
It does, but kind of sexy. No, you don't find the robot voice sexy?
Not at all, dude.
Yeah, maybe that's just me. I don't know. So anyway, he develops all these things, and he has AI has complete control over his life. Not control. He asks it the best way. It's a partner.
It's Jarvis.
His girlfriend, fiance, is jealous of the relationship he has with the AI.
Not fully explained in the beginning.
Not at all. But lo and behold, the devil, Lucifer,
Beelzebub, Mastiff,
Masma.
I thought
Mastema, the Lucifer, challenges him to a series of challenges, 7 challenges, in order to save him and his girlfriend's soul. And so he has to go basically, Hercules in the challenges to save his soul, and he fights Lucifer throughout the entire movie.
He's like, you seem worthy.
Yeah, because you have magic, the new magic, technology. So he puts that's the synopsis of the movie. But yeah, Lucifer gives him Mastema, gives him this like bracelet that has his AI into it, which shoots lasers or whatever the fuck it wants it to do, whatever the story really needs it to do at the point. That's the movie. I'm gonna start like this. The first 15 minutes of this movie, when I had it on, man, I was like, this movie is fucking awesome. I loved every second of it. It's the first 15 minutes. It really is the first 15 minutes. And then they start going to the challenges. And the challenges happen after, the devil brings them to this like nightmare, hellish dimension. And then the first challenge happens. And it's over in 2 minutes. And then the next challenge happens. And it's like 3 minutes. So, that challenge. And I'm like, oh, that's what this movie is. It's like a loose collection of ideas thrown together, and not one of them are thought out well.
I did like the idea of an anthology movie inside of itself.
Yeah, and I didn't realize until after the movie, each challenge is like directed by a different director, written and directed by a different director, and some of them famous and borderline famous. One of them is directed by the guy that did Puppet Masters.
There you go.
Yeah, so...
there that is for you.
Can you guess which one that was?
Was it the Stone guy?
Yeah. That's actually directed by a famous stop-motion director.
Well, I was going to say, because that has your Flesh Gordon guy written all
over it. It really does. No, I think he directed the one was the... rat shit that was sitting in the little throne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With the bad animatronics.
Yeah, the really bad animatronics. Yeah, so, I mean, the things I really dig about the movie, I love, like, the costume design, and I like the outfit that he was wearing, actually. It was kind of cool.
Sure.
Some of the stories were kind of cool. The first one, actually, is they're, like, in this frozen...
well, they say all the criminals, but somehow Albert Einstein's there.
But he created the atom bomb.
No, he didn't. That was Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah, it really was. So why was Albert Einstein there? Didn't he give it to, like, didn't he, like, bring it to the attention and the Hiroshima happened because of that?
No. That's Oppenheimer, again.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm sure it all led to things. He had some theories and...
Well, he didn't get thawed out in there, so maybe, like, he wasn't the bad guy.
He was right next to Jack the Ripper.
He was next to Jack the Ripper. And Genghis Khan, I think, was one of the other ones. So anyway, there's all these like frozen murderers in there, and they're frozen, and then the devil turns up the heat and unthaws them all, and basically just goes through the same formula every single time. The challenge isn't really told to Paul, which is the main character, and he's got to figure it out, and not really figure it out. His AI basically tells him how to defeat every single challenge.
It's basically what every little kid ever did, like when they like, I have this that can do anything.
Yeah.
And it's like there was no limitations what this AI could do. It could shoot lasers. It could project.
Made AI. I mean,
it was Green Lantern-esque.
Yeah,
things.
It was very Green Lantern. Yeah,
it did whatever he wanted it to do,
and gave him the answers to like, what's this challenge? How do I beat it? Oh, that crystal that's standing behind you. You need to take it and throw it at them. Why?
Within 60
I don't know.
seconds.
Just do that. All right, I'll do that. And then he wins the challenge. And that's basically how every single one of these challenges goes, other than the last one's kind of weird, the Mad Max one.
Yeah.
The
he just dies.
He just dies. So I don't understand what happens.
To him. It's like, sorry, spoilers, but also who the fuck cares?
So, I mean, there are redeeming qualities about this movie. In the first 15 minutes of the movie, I'm watching it, and I'm going, why haven't I seen more about this movie? And it really took the movie going into its paces where I'm like, it's not bad and bad, like in a bad sense, like where it's shot bad or acted bad. It's just mundane. It's boring at
It is kind of boring because everything gets solved pretty quickly.
Yeah. Like, there's no... This is almost a 2-hour long movie, too.
No, it's not. It was an hour and 13 minutes.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the longest hour and 13
Drive
minutes.
was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The next movie we were about to talk about is 2 hours long.
This was the longest hour and 13.
Yeah,
it was a short-ass movie, and I'm like, it's got to be almost over. 34 minutes left. I was like, God damn it. God damn it. How long have I been watching this hour and 13 minute movie?
But that is really the problem with the movie. It's fucking boring.
For the whole time, the guy that played Mestima, I really thought it was Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
he sounds like Clancy
Brown. Yeah, he kind of looks like Clancy. You know who he is now?
No.
Yeah, it's the.
Is it Clancy Brown?
No, it's not Clancy Brown. He's the bald-headed guy from Night Court. Yeah.
Oh, Bull.
Yeah, Bull. Yeah.
Okay.
So you know who he is?
Yeah.
I can't think of his actor's name,
Well,
but his real name is Bull. Yeah. Yeah. He acted the fuck out of that role.
Yeah,
though.
he wasn't bad.
No, he was probably the best thing in the movie, other than Wasp showing up randomly in the middle of the movie.
It's like, oh, you like that music?
You like that music?
The devil
you listen to this?
That was okay. So that's a meta bullshit, right?
Yeah, it
there,
really was.
Because
the devil plays noise at him,
and it has some Gregorian chants in it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so he turns his AI on and plays like heavy metal music from the 80s. And he goes, oh, what is this noise? You like it so much you can live in it. So the devil didn't like the devil music. I'm doing air quotes for the devil music.
And Wasp randomly, I forgot Wasp was in this movie. That's what I knew about this movie before. That was like one of those heavy metal horror movies. Oh, Wasp was here. Wasp shows up. I'm like, Wasp! Finally a good thing that happens in this movie. And they play the Tormentor, I think is the name of the song.
Yeah. Which
is one of the most depraved Wasp songs ever. So yeah, that was actually one of my favorite scenes, other than how easy and simple. Again, how they defeat Wasp and lead singer Blackie Lawless, I think is his name. Yeah, that's definitely his name. They play high vibration music at him, which destroys the band because the AI told him to do that.
Yeah.
While he's 100% stabbing his girlfriend.
Yeah,
they're off camera.
He does this weird, like he's licking the blade, and then like he's about to do it, and he's like, nope.
And she's like an Iron Maiden, but the spikes only come from the side. Okay, again, it's one of those movies that you're describing, and if you've never seen it, nothing in this movie will make sense if you... I'm not telling you to go watch this movie either. I don't want you to understand the movie. I just think you'll be bored.
I think you should watch it.
It's
an hour and 13 minutes.
It's an hour and 13 minutes. It's worth a watch if you like bad movies.
And then comment to Snarf Crest, be like, dude, what the fuck?
I picked this movie because I know, like I said, I've seen it in the late 80s or early 90s. Probably once. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I haven't even seen the whole movie. Because I don't... Most of the time, if I've seen a movie, I remember things from it. I didn't remember anything about this movie. Actually, the best thing about this whole entire movie, the trailer...
Full nudity? Oh, what were you going to say?
The trailer makes this movie look so much better than what it is. The trailer makes it...
Trailer guy.
Yeah, nice. Trailer guy definitely won on this one. The trailer makes it look like an adventuring Dungeons and Dragons meets Mad Max type adventure that this guy goes on.
They definitely made an anthology because they had a slasher type scene.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was kind of cool. It even had, but you know what really bothered me about it? It was made in 1984.
84.
It's the same time as Terminator, and the graphics are so much goddamn worse than the Terminator. And the Terminator had a shoestring budget too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't find the budget on this, but I would imagine this had a bigger budget than Terminator.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like James Cameron, I don't know, maybe, but I think that maybe goes back to the craft.
Yeah.
You know, you had a guy that was just nerding out. And he was like some film school guy who's like, I'm going to make the best movie I can with an unknown actor and other unknown actors. And I'm just going to crush it. Just get other people that want to do it. And we're going to guerrilla style film this movie with very little like clearance from the city to do shoot scenes. And we'll bail before they get there. I mean, he was doing what Kevin Smith did for Clerks.
Yeah.
But as a sci-fi movie that has stood the test of time.
For sure. And the only thing bad about the Terminator, I think we were talking about it before we started recording, the Terminator kind of looks like shit whenever we get to see him.
But barely like
shit.
Barely
like shit.
Like, because the only reason why he looks like shit is because we're comparing it to modern graphics.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because, like, if you have never seen, like, a modern movie, and then you watch the Terminator for some reason, you're like, holy shit, that's a fucking
robot.
That's a fucking metal skeleton coming at you, man. That's real. That's coming at you. Fuck that.
And then when I was doing my research on this movie, this biggest claim of fame to this movie is it invented the line, I reject your reality and substitute my own, which was later made famous from Mythbusters, and he got the line from this movie.
Oh.
That's his biggest claim of fame.
So, you know what? He even challenged the devil to a fist
fight. Yeah.
He's like, oh, the only reason
that's not a movie yet.
Yeah, he's like, hey, yeah, because you can't handle it without your powers. Let's fight like man to man. And it was a 2-minute fight.
It was a
less than 2 minutes.
It was like one of those fights that you see, like where two people can't fight, so they just kind of roll around on the ground.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was.
And the fact that the devil had these claws and didn't use them, like
any of it,
the whole time, I'm like, scratch this dude's eyes out, dude. What are you doing? You got claws. You're already touching his face. Dig him in.
All right, so yeah, that's the movie. Go watch it on Tubi if you really, really want to watch it. I would recommend y'all watch these before we review them, so you can know what we're talking about. You know why we're talking about them. But we always give these a 1 out of 11. Where you got on this?
I mean, it's low, man. I'm sorry. It's maybe a 2.2.
I'm going 2.5.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not good. It doesn't have much rewatchability. A lot of bad movies I know I'll go back and probably watch over again. I don't think I need to see this movie for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I need to forget about the movie.
Mine's ever.
No, it's not ever for me. I need to forget about the movie totally. So, like, in 10 years from now.
So, you want to be disappointed all over
Yeah, I'll
again?
be disappointed again, yeah. So, yeah, 2.5. I'm going to give it. So
okay,
and let's go ahead and palate cleanse the fuck out of this because the next movie is nowhere near as bad as this one. It's arguably good.
Okay, so I picked this movie. I watched the shit out of this movie when I was little, and I was maybe 13 or 14 when this movie came out.
It's 97. So
yeah, so like I watched this movie when I recommended it. I was trying to think of something, and I didn't find it on anything. I'm like, you know what movie I liked?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I like, and that's how I base stuff. Don't think I just pick movies. I intentionally pick bad movies. I try to pick movies that I watched when I was younger and liked when I was young. And when I picked this movie, I'm like, maybe it's not as good as I thought. Rewatched it the whole time. I'm like, this is a good ass fucking movie. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, I know why I liked this as a kid. And, oh man, it's super cool. I was coming back. I'm like, I know what's happening. I remembered everything. Awesome. I was like, how much did I watch this movie? Apparently I watched it a lot.
So this is Drive?
This is the movie Drive from 1997.
Just relax and drive.
You don't look like Miss Daisy. I should be driving. You know fucking
Shut
well.
up. Have you ever heard the term bioengine? I have one in my chest. There's a corporation in LA. They will pay me $5 million for it.
You would be held responsible if the competition acquired this object.
If you help me get to LA, I'll give you half the money. What do you say?
It's suicide. Can we talk about it?
Tell me on the way down.
Die!
Come and get it.
Lock 'em and shock 'em, gentlemen.
You can tell what a man's like by the kind of car he drives.
Who says violence is not the answer?
Well, let's go. We are going. This ain't the Batmobile, man.
Good hot day for a killer.
We're closing in. Tell me something. Does everybody live happily ever after at the end of this fairy tale?
Yeah. You good looking? You need help?
He's good.
Drive.
This is the original Five Fingers of Death right here.
Starring Mark Dukakis, the guy from Different Worlds.
Yep.
And then Brittany Murphy's in this.
Yeah. Like key Brittany Crazy Murphy.
Yeah,
you know,
like right after Clueless.
Yeah.
So, and then you have like this weird villain guy. He's in a ton of things. If you ever watch the show Suits or Burn Notice, he's in both of those shows.
Yeah, he sure is.
But he's in this movie, and he's phenomenal.
Probably the best thing in the movie.
Yeah. So
he's the best actor in the movie.
So Mark Dukakis plays this guy, Toby, and he has this biomechanical drive inserted in his chest, and he's smuggling it out of China to bring to California to sell for money. For some reason, because of it, like this gang that wanted it originally killed his girlfriend the day after his birthday or something like that. So he has this smartphone basically that has a CD in it that watches this video. It's a birthday card, but it looks like a smartphone. So he watches that over and over. But he escapes out of China, Hong Kong specifically, and comes to San Francisco.
Instantly kidnaps a guy?
He goes into a bar trying to escape these guys chasing him from this container ship that he escaped from. Which is where you meet this long-haired cowboy-esque, like straight out of an anime type like character, but super phenomenal. So he hides out in this bar, and then they find him, which they don't explain. They just randomly find this guy. They don't tell you till later on that there's a tracking chip in the thing. But anyway, so he sees they're about to shoot them, so he knocks this guy that he was talking to, Malik, away from the bar so he doesn't get shot. And then he starts fighting these guys and, destroys them, does all kinds of cool action sequences. So the cinematographer that did this apparently was really involved with Power Rangers.
Yeah. What's the main character's name?
Mark Dukakis.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Kamen Riders and stuff like that. So all these people are like kung fu guys. So all the research I was doing, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider. I mean, all these guys are like the producers and directors of all those other things. So
what I can say about the fight sequences in this movie is basically if you watch Rumble in the Bronx and mix it with Power Rangers. That's what you have.
Like when they punch somebody and when they fly like across the room.
But he has superpowers.
Yeah, he does. So he's like super strong.
He's super strong and super fast. And so like he has, these other guys are just normal power. So it's like he's fighting a bunch of putty men basically.
Yeah.
But he fights all these guys. He ends up making the bad guy takes Malik hostage. They switch roles because cops show up, so the bad guy pretends he's a victim too. Toby has to pretend Malik's his hostage to get out of there. Ends up taking him hostage, and he makes Malik take him to this rendezvous point to sell the drive so he can make money. And throughout the movie, he's like, "Look, I'll cut you in if you help me out." So he's in reluctantly. So they go on this adventure to L.A., and along the way, there's some things that happen, whatever, we won't get into that. But they decide they end up at this hotel to rest up before they go, because, the drive drains his metabolism. He's like, oh, I crash and, I have to rest. So they're at this hotel, and that's when the gang catches up to them. They get in a super big fight scene. They get away again, of course, and they go to this super amazing bar.
Yeah, the bar is fucking awesome.
It's called Apollo 14. I know I'm doing a really bad job recapping this movie, but
this is the bar is
it's so cool.
It's in the middle of nowhere too, which was the most unreal.
It's like if you ever saw Dust Till Dawn, the Titty Twister bar.
Yeah,
but it's that. But it's
a sci-fi themed karaoke. They those things that they spin you around in the three circles?
Yeah, the zero gravity thing.
Yeah, they have those in the bar. Then all the people are dressed as Apollo 14 astronauts. The bar is fucking awesome.
It's so awesome.
They have the sci-fi Star Trek doors that open up to the main door to the place.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And there's a giant
outside,
rocket. It's a giant rocket. So
So they go to that to do everything, and they think they're home free to sell the thing. But then turns out the guy that's chasing them, the main guy who's the head boss, creates another drive that's better apparently, and puts it in another guy and sends
you
him
don't find
to
out
him.
until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, they don't tell you anything. It's good, but it's not super good. So they go and they get in this fight, and it's all brawl, and it's, everything you expect.
Yeah. Look, this movie it's the kind of 90s action movies I like. It reminds me a lot of more, like I was surprised this movie came out in 1997 because it really feels like an early 90s action movie.
It does.
It's got like those one-liners. It's cheesy, but it's the right kind of cheese.
The acting's not bad, though.
No. It's not even the acting. It's just the one-liners and it's how the everybody interacts with each other. It really feels like an early 90s action movie in the best way possible.
Yes.
Like, not in a bad way. It feels awesome.
And it's weird. It's a 2-hour movie, but there's so much action. There's action every scene. You're getting
like they
action.
go someplace. There's a fight
scenes.
scene, and not like a short fight scene. It's like a
Rumble
5 to 10,
and it's Rumble in the Bronx type fight scenes. At one point, they're handcuffed together, and he's using him as a weapon.
Yeah.
Malik is attached to him, and he's using Malik's head as a weapon against.
And that's the whole thing is like they won't kill him throughout the whole entire movie, so they don't want to shoot him until the end of the movie, where they're like, oh, apparently we didn't need to do any of this for no reason.
We got a better drive now. It's like, you guys knew this was happening.
Yeah,
He was already in another guy.
So they will never shoot him. So they keep trying to shoot him in his leg, but his friend that he kidnapped, they don't care about shooting. So they always try to shoot him in the head, and they're always trying to shoot him.
And Toby's always saving him.
Yeah.
And, Malik is reluctant in the relationship for a long time. He ends up liking him afterwards. He's got Stockholm Syndrome pretty hard, but he did cut him in for $2.5 million.
Yeah,
So,
I guess I would do the same thing, maybe. I don't know. But he was really good, the Malik.
Yeah,
he was I really liked him.
I liked him.
This was like...
He was a good comedic relief. But,
for sure.
And then
Not
the
being
bad
over
guy,
comedic.
Yeah, and the bad guy was super charming. And I always find it funny that a lot of these movies, the bad guy is way more entertaining. Because I remember the Roller Boys movie review?
Yeah.
Remember the guy that played Lucifer in Supernatural?
Yeah.
That dude was in that, and for the split second, for the very few scenes he's in, I'm like, that dude's a scene stealer. And the same thing for this guy that played this long-haired cowboy, basically anime character.
He looks like a lot like man, this is crazy, because I'm thinking of the guy that played in the original Crow movie. Long hair.
Yeah.
And then I just remembered that guy played the Crow in the TV show.
Oh, Mark Dukakis?
Yes, he played Eric Draven in the TV show.
That's true, he did.
I'm just remembering that. That was a terrible TV show. But he was good at it. He's good at... This dude's pretty good in everything. Even the Double Dragon movie that he's in, I know everybody considers it one of the worst video game movies of all time. I actually really like the movie.
But it's from the early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect on it? It's a.
And if you ever watched the cartoon was bad too. This movie was exactly the cartoon.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But this movie, like I said, I think I may have seen this, but I don't have any memories of it. I don't.
I remembered every scene, which is weird. I remember bits and pieces, and when I'm watching this is about to happen, I'm like, oh.
No, I enjoyed this movie so much more than I thought I would.
I was so happy rewatching it because I'm like, oh yeah, I'd watch this again, no problem. Yeah, and I'd recommend this.
Literally, the only weird thing in the whole entire movie, there's a whole karaoke scene at the end of the movie that he sings, but even that was just very off character.
He was drunk.
Yeah, he was drunk or something, or like fine. But he sings a made up song about Malik in their adventure, so he basically recaps the entire movie.
He's in love with Malik.
he basically says he is.
Yeah.
So. But like I said, yeah, it feels like an early 90s movie, even though it came out in the late 90s. But it's right in all the right places.
Yeah, that's good.
All the fight scenes are really great. Actually, I mean, like I said,
the final fight scene is very anime-ish.
Yeah.
I did look up the budget for this movie. This movie was $3.5 million.
Wow,
to make.
Actually,
but honestly, that's super low. Because
the
movie Waiting, which with Ryan Reynolds, and I don't know how much it went to actual people, that movie was $3 million to do, and that's a single location. And this was all over LA, San Francisco. Now, granted, some of those could be in studios or whatever, but I mean, the fight scenes alone, the choreography was pretty good. A lot of destruction, a lot of explosions. In fact, the final explosion that happened at the Apollo 14 bar, they exploded and the rockets started taking off. But then it fell over. It was just like a joke that it was taking off, and then it fell over. So it wasn't like... And this is where you start seeing a lot of the bad CG. There was some... Yeah. So, again, it's late 90s. So the CG wasn't great.
There's a weird CGI scene in the movie, if you notice. It's whenever the long-haired guy and... what is it? Hedgehog, yeah, which is his like henchman,
his best friend that he loves.
Yeah, he loves.
There's a lot of love in this.
There is. Are standing outside of the Apollo 14
when they're
bar,
running by him, that
and
looks
then
weird.
all the crowd is running out of the bar from the gunfire and stuff like that.
They look CG, but they interact with him. It's really weird.
But no, I think everybody's CG, and then just green screen the bar in the background.
I think you're right.
It's very like
they could have just shot it in a parking lot.
Yeah, they could have just shot it in the parking lot, but they didn't do that. It looked odd.
Yeah, that and then the explosion, like that were the two main things. Everything else, like. All the dumb CG stuff before, you're like, you kind of forget about it. But those two scenes, you're like, that's bad.
Actually, I want to go back to Dungeon Master. There's that exact scene whenever it's the claymation big iron guy. Mm-hmm. They steal the thing off of his arm, and then it's two little people. Mm-hmm. Or steal the thing and then run off. And he is chasing them to try to get it back from him. And from each cut of the film, it's either there and then it's not there. Like they forgot or they use different parts of the movie of him running through something, and it's there and it's not there, and it's there and it's not there, and it's there and it's not there. It bothered the hell out of me the entire time. Just like that scene in Drive. It just looked weird.
I noticed the same thing in the Drive because I was like, this looks off. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. See, again, we're so spoiled with such good CGI. Yeah. Even when we look at CGI now, there are times I'm like, that's not great CGI. What was I watching recently? It was a high-end show, and I was watching. It was a TV show though. But I was like, this CG doesn't look that great. Nice. And I'm like, what am I talking about? It's like, it's barely bad. It's like barely noticeable.
It's not absolutely perfect.
And like, I can't believe this is real. This is stupid. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I dug the movie. I mean, that's really, and especially after watching it after Dungeon Master. Because I watched Dungeon Master first, and then I watched this one.
I did the opposite.
Yeah. Well,
so, I mean, like, when I watched it, I was like, I was happy because, I mean, I remember... So, apparently, I watched a lot of action movies when I was younger. I watched so many stupid ones and so many stupid horror movies. God, I was a dumb kid.
No, I think guys our age just this is what... It's not dumb. This is just what came out in the 90s.
Yeah, but the things that you just like, you know? I don't know if it's like just because it's like underground. Maybe it's just like in our DNA to like stuff that's like not well liked among other people that you're oh man, did you see that? That's super cool. Maybe it's because like you obviously like mainstream stuff, but when you find something that no one talked about, you're like, oh man, that's really good. Yeah, it's super cool.
But this movie was one of those movies I watched, and I'm like, man, this should really be more talked about in 90s action
I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen it.
So you never saw it before this, right?
I don't think so. I have like a memory of the movie, but it's so like some other movies in the 90s that I think I've seen it, but I don't think I did. So, like, if I'd seen it, I seen it once when it came out. Yeah, you know, around that time.
So overall, good acting, great fight
The fight
sequences were great.
Even if the movie wasn't all that great, the fight scenes would have saved this movie. Yeah, the fight scenes are really, really, really good.
They're Rumble in the Bronx esque. I mean, they're not to that quite there, but they're almost there.
Where the movie really, like, the fight scenes really, I was like, man, the fight scenes are really good in this movie. Is when they were tied together. Yeah. That was like this. The choreography on that was just really, really, really good, and it made sense. All of it really made sense, other than he's superhuman and all that stuff. But
but barely superhuman. It wasn't like he's
not Superman. Yeah, he's not. He's more like Batman.
There was a scene where he kicked a motorcycle that was driving.
Yeah, and he did like backhand somebody, and they did a Power Ranger. I mean,
there was a lot of
twisted in the air.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
And this movie like really skirts on how hardcore it will be at certain times too, because he murks people with knives in the heads and stuff like that.
And then it doesn't. Sometimes. It's really weird who he picked.
And then sometimes they don't show it, and then sometimes they do.
It was really weird what they were choosing to kill, and not...
I wonder what cut of, because I know there's the same thing. There's a director's cut of this. I'm not sure if I watched the director's cut. I'm not sure when you watched. So
Well, I watched it on Tubi.
Did you? I watched it on my copy of it. So.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I did watch it on your copy.
Did you?
I'm wrong. But it is on Tubi if for everyone else who wants to watch it. But one of the things is that I think that a lot of the action sequences that happen, like it's an R-rated movie. It's not like this barely R, because all they do is curse. And for an R-rated movie, all you have to do is say the F word more than once, and it is rampant through that movie. Yeah. And not that there's a lot of blood, but there's
a lot of death.
There's death, but it's not
he kills
like,
a lot of people.
But they don't. It's not gory.
It's not gory. No.
You know,
but he murks a lot. Like abnormally, I would like to know what the kill count is for this movie. I mean, because they send every place he goes to, there's a tracking device on him. So every time he gets to a place,
but they don't tell you that till the end,
until the movie. But there is 15 guys that show up every single place he goes, and he is literally the only person that walks away from it, other than the long hair guy and his friend. And he kills everybody.
And Brittany Murphy is super weird in the movie. I mean, it's overacted, but she's playing a crazy person.
She's playing she always played a crazy role, like Girl Interrupted, stuff like that. This is her turned up to like a 10. Yeah. It was over the top. It's not bad. No, it's
over the top.
It's over the top, but the whole movie's kind of over the top, so it works. Like I said.
It's not like this is out of place.
No, it's not. It's not. The only thing that was strangely out of place that I guess it gave backstory to Malik was him seeing his ex-wife. Yeah. It was an unnecessary scene.
But I guess it was to show like why he cared about Malik's safety. Yeah. Beyond just being like his hostage/friend.
Right. So anyway, great movie. Highly recommend this movie. What do you give it on a rating to 1 to 11?
I'm going to give it like a 6.8.
Okay, yeah, I'm giving it a 6.5. Let's go 6.5. I enjoyed this movie. I'm going to watch it again.
I would rewatch this again. I would recommend it to people that like action movies. Not to everybody, but
it wouldn't be like, if you're a 90s action fan, this should be in the conversation of 90s action movies.
For sure, because they have a lot of Matrix-esque type stuff before the Matrix.
Yeah. Dig the movie. I'm super. This is yet one of those other movies you put on the list, and I'm super happy you put it on the list. So, and I don't hate myself for having to watch it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Dungeonmaster, again, I don't hate myself for having to watch that movie. These are out of movies we've done.
I did enjoy it, but I mean, like, I will never watch it again, and I can never recommend it. I did appreciate a lot of stuff.
I would recommend it to friends that like bad
I would
movies.
Recommend it to you.
Who do I know that hates fucking his life?
Waste an hour. What makes this movie beautiful, it's an hour and 13 minutes, and I swear to God, I had to be like, it's almost over. I had to say that 2 or 3 times. And I was like, God damn, how much more
every time you think it's over, you still got to remember he had to go through 7 challenges.
Oh my God.
And I lost count.
I didn't even keep count, because I was like, this has to be
I was like, is this it? Was that last one 2 different challenges he did? I don't want to get back onto that movie. We're going to go ahead and start closing out the podcast. Thank y'all checking out the podcast. Check out these movies. Send us some movies. Me and Critter's never gonna run out of movies, but we'd love to maybe review some movies that we don't know about.
I'll always watch movies.
Yeah, for sure. I watch a new movie every day.
Me too. So,
that's a lie. I watch a movie every day.
I pretty much watch a movie I haven't seen every day.
I watch the same movie. I watch Lost Boys, once a week. And,
such a good movie, though.
Yeah, it really is. I watch Fifth Element, once every couple of weeks. Yeah, that's my problem. If I watch a new movie every day, it would be great.
I try to watch a new movie every day, but sometimes I'll go down a rabbit hole and I'll rewatch a series.
Yeah.
Remember when I was going through the horror franchises?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's like Chucky and
I did it again
Leprechaun.
With Chucky.
Yeah. I just recently got all the Chucky movies, and I need to sit down and watch them all again.
Yeah, and then you got to watch the show.
I really need to watch the show. Yeah, I hear it's good. So okay, yeah. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social media sites that we have. Go leave us a review on all the podcast apps. The show's over. Like I always tell you, you can turn it off right now. Just turn it off and then go hit the plus sign, the thumbs up, the hearts. Write us something nice in the comments. That would help us a lot.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah, you got friends that hate themselves and talking about bad movies. Let them know about our podcast. That's a selling point. Do you hate yourself? I got a couple of guys you should listen to.
We got some bad movies you can watch.
So we're going to be back in the next couple of weeks with another podcast. Episode 18. We made it to 18.
Every time. Okay.
We have been your hosts. I am Snarf Chris.
I'm Critter.
And Good journey, nerds.
Good journey, nerds.